welcome to livealittlehigher.com. This week we learned Parashat Tetzaveh, which means, literally means command, as the opening verse of our parasha reads, and you should command the children of Israel that they should bring to you pure olive oil. Also, however, Tetzaveh is a derivative of the word tzavsa, which means connection. So it could also read that you should connect the Jewish people. So it has two connotations. One is that Hashem is commanded that, to the Jewish children to light the menorah, and also this is the way in which you connect to Hashem. And all the mitzvahs that God gives us, actually the word mitzvah also comes from this root word, also means connection. So I want to speak about the Kohen Gadol and his garbs in this parasha. There's three commandments that go in order. One is the lighting of the menorah, and the other one is how God instructs Moshe to dress the Kohen Gadol and the other Kohanim, the other priests, and also the burning of the incense. So one goes first, the other one is in the middle. The dressing of the Kohen is like in the sandwich, and then we have the incense. And the question would be, why would they be in this order? So let's see. The lighting of the menorah really represents our wisdom, our knowledge, our understanding of life. When a person understands his life and understands why he's in this world, he's gonna be a constant light to the world, because he's not gonna take his life for granted. He's gonna know his purpose, his meaning. He knows why he is who he is, why Hashem made him to be part of the Jewish people, or he made him to be part of another people. And he's gonna live a life in which he's gonna be responsible for who he is. And then we come with the priestly garments, and it starts talking about clothes, and it sounds so like mundane, like what do clothes have to really do with me being a light in this world? How can I connect to God by the way I dress? And we'll see that there's a few items in the garment of the Kohen Gadol and in the garments of the Kohen, in the priests. And one is the robe. Then he has a tunic, a turban, a sash, which is a belt. He has a cloak, he has linen trousers, he has an apron, and he has a breastplate and a crown. And we'll see that each one of these garments atones for a different sin, because what the Kohen Gadol used to do was that he used to atone for the sins of the Jewish people. So every garment he wore represented one of these sins that he had to atone for the Jewish people. For example, the robe was atoned for bloodshed. If someone had caused bloodshed, this would atone. The tunic atoned for lewdness. The turban atoned for arrogance. The sash or the belt, it would be an atonement for impure thoughts of the heart. The cloak would be for slander. The apron would be for idolatry. The breastplate, which was a beautiful piece that had 12 stones, which represented, each stone represented one of the tribes. This one was neglect of civil laws, and the crown was brazeness. And we see that in this parasha there's a verse that says, "You shall make holy garments for your brother Aaron for honor and glory." So what we're seeing here is that the way we dress should bring us honor and glory, because everything that is in the construction of the Mishkan, which we saw last week in Terumah, and in the artifacts themselves that are part of the Mishkan, we see that all these things, which seem to be very materialistic and very down to earth, in reality are a microcosm of what Hashem wants from us. So the temple itself is a microcosm of God, and we are a microcosm of the temple. So Hashem wants us to be holy people. The Torah, the whole thing of the Torah, the instruction of the Torah for us is to learn to be holy. A Jew, yeah, it's nice to be spiritual, it's nice to have feeling for God and to be spiritual, but this is not really what is really important here. What is important for Hashem is that we make ourselves holy, because He made man in His image. And this is what it means, because Hashem is infinite, so we cannot really put an image to Him, like a corporeal image. So when the Torah is saying, and God created man in His image, let's make man in my image, what it means is in the holiness of Hashem, in the way Hashem relates to us in this world. He's kind, He's giving, He forgives, He's loving. So all these attributes that we give to God, in reality, this is what makes us holy people, when we live up to these standards. So the parasha of Tetzaveh seems out of place. The menorah, the oil, and starts talking about how to light the menorah. The Sfat Emet, which was the first Rebbe of the Ger Hasidic dynasty, he gave a beautiful insight about the oil that burns in the menorah, and he says that it represents the knowledge that illuminates our existence and generates light, which are our actions. So for us to be able to give light to the world, we have to have knowledge. We have to understand who we are to be able to illuminate. And the interrelation between knowledge and clothes is in a verse of Ecclesiastes, which says, "At all times let your garments be white, and let oil not be missing from your head." And King Solomon says, is alluding to the white priestly garments, but he means it applies to all of us, for we are a nation of priests. So what it means is that the way we dress should be dignified. It should bring honor to us. And the Jewish religion gives a lot of emphasis in being modest and being sniut. And we have certain parameters of things that we can wear and things that we cannot wear. For example, women have to cover their elbows. We have to cover our necklines. We should cover our knees. And in this way, we will look dignified and honorable. And really, the way a person dresses doesn't mean that it is a reflection of who they are. Really, the dress is not reflecting who you are. Many people dress in a certain way because it's the fashion, because everybody's dressing that way, or a doctor would use the garb of a doctor because that's his profession. But in his essence is not that. That's what he does for a living. His essence is much, much more. So the way we dress should be really a reflection of who we really are. And in reality, we are dignified people. We are a piece of God. We have mamish, a spark of Hashem inside of us, and we should live up to that. We should reflect it in the way we dress, in the way we speak, in the way we talk. The garments of the soul is also dressed, and the garments of the soul are thought, speech, and action. So your thoughts, your speech, and your action should be aligned. They cannot be you thinking one thing, saying another thing, and doing a different thing. This is a person that needs a chiropractic adjustment of the soul. So, but a person that lives his life thinking straight, speaking straight, acting straight, is a person that is personifying his essence in this world. He is what he means. He says what he means, and he means what he says, and that is super valuable, super valuable. So our clothes are very important in the sense that they either raise us up or they lower us down, and we should always think when we dress ourselves, we're children, we're the princess and the prince of Hashem. We are His children in this world, and He's the king. So we should, when we dress, think about these things and dress with intention, not for what people like to look at, or if this is the fashion or this is not the fashion. We should dress accordingly to our essence, to our neshama. And this is what this parasha is in a sense teaching us, that how holy we should be, how holy we should think, how holy we should speak, how holy we should act. And it's not only confined to the priests, it's also given to us, to the children of Israel. That's why Hashem at the beginning of the Torah, of this portion, says, command the children of Israel, because it not only applies to the Kohen, it applies to all of us. So when we dress, we should dress with intention, we should dress with honor and dignity. We should always remember that the way we dress is the way in which we should behave. So if a person is dressed modestly, it's also a reminder to them, to that person, that they're above, that they should act in a higher way. They're not like any person, they're above. And this helps too. Also, very holy artifacts are always covered. If you looked at a mezuzah, you look at the Torah scroll, you look at the tefillin, they're always covered. They're never left uncovered. Never. Even in the synagogue, when they're praying from the Torah, every time they finish reading one of the aliyot, they close it between one aliyah and another, because they never leave the Sefer Torah just like that. Why? Because it's holy. So the same way Jewish people are holy, and they should have respect for their holiness and cover their bodies in a dignified and beautiful way, because this is really who we are. We're holy people, and we are a light into the nations, and we're a big brother of the world. We are the responsible for other people's welfare. So remember to dress beautiful, holy, dignified. In that way you can shine out. When people cover themselves, what calls for attention is a beautiful smile, a beautiful face, kind words, a special person, and not the materialistic part of our bodies. That's not what people are looking at. People will look at you, at who you really are. And in this way, you will live a little higher. Thank you.